Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Australian, and you're welcome back to the excavation of Hoff's Barrow. Let's continue, shall we? We have the flower. We need to go and give it to the old lady. His name I don't remember right now, but I know she's there. Mother Mirror was under there. This one is Mrs. Diplancy. Mrs. Diplancy, I have the thing.
I have something for you.
You found them? Oh, you dear child. Let's take them straight to Albert. You'll come with me, won't you?
Of course,
Mrs. Diplancy.
You know, the things I miss most about him are the things that used to annoy me. The click of his jaw as he chewed his sandwiches, leaving his tools all around the house. The way he'd never back down from an argument. He's just quiet at home now. Silence. The funny thing is, that's what he always craved. Peace and quiet. He were a good man, our Albert.
Sounds like he was. I'm so sorry.
Do you fear death, pet?
I do, but it's best not to dwell on such thoughts. Life is for living, not for worrying about what comes after.
I fear it, but my faith keeps me going. I know I'll meet him again, in heaven.
Take that thought forward, Mrs. Diplancy. Remember it. One day, you will be reunited.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those flowers look beautiful.
They do.
Albert will be smiling down on us. Pet, I left me basket inside the church. You'll find some Bakewell puddings in there. You can have them.
Oh, you...
I insist. You've brought an ounce of happiness into my day, dear. It's only just that I return some.
Thank you, Mrs. Diplancy.
To be truthful with you, I was saving them for myself. I shouldn't be so selfish. Lord forgive me.
You're nothing of the sort.
I'll stay here with Albert a bit longer. You go back to your day, Pet. Lord be with you.
And you, Mrs. Diplancy.
No, this was so sweet. This was super sweet.
Here they are.
Bakewell Pudding.
Mrs. Diplancy's famous Bakewell puddings. They smell delicious.
I could have one. Well, let's go to Lord Penswick. She sure as hell is going to be happy with this.
The vision returns.
I come bearing gifts.
Freshly baked gifts?
Yes. 3 of Mrs. Diplancy's famous Bakewell puddings.
You are an amusing creature, Thomasina.
What do you mean?
You must think me a scoundrel of the highest order for asking you to undertake such folly. Of course I would have lent you my men either way. I merely desired an excuse to share a cake with you.
Lord
Oh.
Penswick.
I take no pleasure in watching you scurry about Bewley to fulfill my every whim. Or do I?
I do not find this amusing in the slightest. You have no idea what I had to go through to get these for you.
Oh, I do. And that's what I admire about you. Tenacity. Even in the face of something you know to be absurd. You don't give up, do you?
Never. Though in this case, I ought to have.
Now then, will you share one of these tempting confections with me?
Why not?
Why not?
Splendid! I'm glad the rain doesn't put you off. You like to live a little dangerously, don't you, Thomasina?
Maybe.
Let us stroll to the beck.
That sounds nice.
Romance on the moors. Aww.
We walked side by side down to the beck, his hand occasionally brushing my own.
Oh, a charming gentleman.
Despite Lord Panswick's entertaining company, I had an overwhelming feeling that time was being wasted. We ate those cakes down by the beck, and as he attempted the most charming lines he could muster upon me, I only had one thing on my mind. Father, could he be saved from his suffering? Was the answer to be found within Hobbs Barrow? I ached to find out. I didn't even notice the taste of those famous puddings. Seemingly disheartened by my lack of enthusiasm, Lord Panswick soon marched me back toward the ruined chapel.
Chaps, listen up. You're to assist Miss Bateman's excavation tomorrow. What time, Miss Bateman?
Early morning, if you don't mind.
We'll be there whenever you need us, miss.
Hobbs Barrow. On the Bryden estate, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll be there.
Take your tools with you. Miss Bateman will need every assistance we can provide her with.
It's no bother.
Splendid.
Thank you, lads.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll see you later, my dear.
Thank you, Lord Panswick.
We're finishing up here, miss. See you tomorrow morning, all right?
Certainly. I appreciate your help. Well, that's a relief to have my crew assembled for tomorrow. It's getting dark and cold. Time to head back to the Plow and Furrow. I fear Miss Fenchurch might come at me with her pots and pans. It's best I stay out here.
Evening, Miss Bateman.
Good evening, Stanley.
Your lordship,
Stanley, my good man.
to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, your lordship?
I've come to wish Miss Bateman good fortune for her grand excavation tomorrow. I'm really rather curious as to what she might turn up.
As am I, your lordship.
An exciting time for Bewley. Wouldn't you agree, Stanley?
Oh, yes, your lordship. Very, very exciting.
My dear, please, allow me the pleasure of buying you a drink. A welcome antidote to the wind's bite. Wouldn't you say, Stanley?
Yes, indeed, your lordship.
Why not?
Splendid. You heard the fair lady.
There you are.
Thank you.
Everyone, raise your glasses to Miss Bateman. May she conquer Hobbs Barrow and find all that she desires. Hip hip!
Hooray!
You don't wish to join me in a beverage?
Oh, you go ahead, my dear. Alcohol does not sit well with my constitution.
Thank you, your lordship. I needed that.
I aim to provide you with whatever your heart desires. I've reminded my chaps they're to meet you at Hobbs Barrow in the morning.
Thank you again, Lord Panswick.
Till we meet again, faites des beaux rêves. Mr. Shoulder?
Your lordship?
Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman?
I've recruited the help of some local labourers to help with the excavation.
Marvellous. When do we start?
Tomorrow morning, first thing.
Wonderful.
Can I count on your assistance?
Of course. I'll meet you here at the Plow and Furrow.
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
You've changed your tunes, Stanley. An exciting time for Bewley. I thought you didn't want me to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Well, what can I get you?
I'm fine for now, thank you. I can't think of anything else to talk about. I'll leave those two to their conversation.
Thomasina,
Arthur?
I've remembered something.
What is it, Arthur?
Not here. Meet me outside, in the alley.
He's stinking drunk, but let's hear what he has to say. Hello again, Cyril.
You're still here? Leave me be, lass.
I don't need to use... What is it?
First of all, I must apologize to you. That night we met, when I vanished.
Yes?
Well, there were a man in the loo. A hooded man. He threatened me with a beating if I told you anything about what I saw.
Oh, Arthur, that's terrible. What did you see?
That's the thing. I hadn't the foggiest idea what he were on about. It was a drink, you see. I'm an embarrassment, Thomasina.
No, you're not, Arthur.
Here's what I need to tell you. I've remembered what he were on about.
Oh?
Aye. Standing in the woods today, I knew there was something. I waited, I concentrated, and it finally came back to me.
Please, you're keeping me in some serious suspense here.
All right. It were a couple of days before I met you.
Hurry now, Leonard.
I'm not as quick as I used to be. This leg is getting worse by the day.
Yes. I'm constantly made aware of your failing health. Do not fear. You said he has promised you the reward of your returned strength.
Aye, and it can't come soon enough.
Are you sure that it must be her blood?
Aye, she's family.
And she gets here in 2 days?
Aye.
We must bring her to the site as soon as she arrives.
No. Your lordship, with all due respect, we've been through this. We need to ease her into the idea. She would laugh in our faces if we just asked for it.
Who said we would ask?
He told me that she needs to give it willingly.
This little scheme of yours better work, Leonard.
It will, your lordship. We've got the perfect bit.
Wait. Who goes there? Did you hear something? Ah, a moonlight tryst. After something, are you, Mr. Tillett?
Your lordship, let me...
Save your words, you drunken wretch. Off you go, skedaddle. Don't make me ask twice. I do wish you wouldn't spend so much time with that fool. It's beneath a woman of your standard. It's sad, really. That dog urine they serve here has rather pickled the man's brain.
You're being most unfair to him. Mr. Tillett is a nice man.
Come now. I shall bid thee adieu once more, for I do not wish for this to come between us. All the very best wishes for your excavation tomorrow, my dear.
Thanks.
Taking every as the day fades into night. You won't you learn? You can never tell.
So, Thomasina, the journal proves I'm telling you the truth, does it not?
It does.
Good. Now listen. I can help him again. We can help him. Together.
How?
All those years ago, your father entered this barrow with the goal of binding me within it. All because the people of Bewley had gotten it into their heads that Sax's not what cause of their plight. I tell you, Thomasina, we're not. Your father botched his incantation, leaving me in this weakened state, stuck in this limbo. As for him, well, you know how he ended up.
This doesn't sound right. Incantations. My father is a man of...
You don't know your father, Thomasina. How old were you? A child of not even 5, 6 years? You need to enter this barrow and undo what your father did. The spell must be undone. Then not only will I regain my strength, but your father will too.
But how do I...
Blood. The truest symbol of life and death. It's the life which flows within you, but it's also death once it escapes.
I don't understand.
Worry not how you'll undo what's been done. When the time comes, you'll know exactly what to do. Time is short. Your father and I grow weaker by the hour. Go. Save your father.
I must undo what has been done. Father, I'm coming.